Hello, crystal lovers. Pam Teague here, the heartbeat of Sacred Stone, and I am so excited today. This seems rather simple, but I think so necessary right now in the astrological transit we're in and the things that we are stepping forward in. We're in a retrograde. It's a good time to get really clear on what we want and how we want it. And there's just nothing better than a good old-fashioned piece of amethyst. Oh my gosh. You guys, sometimes we get all wrapped up, and I'm so guilty of this, of the latest and greatest, newest, coolest find. And the combination of Earth Mama crystals that come through and what they have to offer, and their new and high vibrations and delights, we get all wrapped up in. I certainly do. I mean, I have so many things that just send me over the moon, but I still use on a very regular basis, like daily, amethyst. And this is probably one of the very first stones that you had in your collection. I know it's one of the very first ones that I had in my collection. And yet, it's probably not been off of your shelf for a while. I know that I use mine all the time, and I've realized recently, especially during this transit, that it can be used more often. Now, daily, I have mine on because it keeps me in that vibration of clarity. But it really brings in that third eye openness. It gives that real contentment to your mind quite often that we don't always on a day-to-day basis. I mean, especially here where I am in Southern California, there's so much going on. And with the technology that we have that's so fabulous, that takes us to all these places, connects us with all these people, but it often requires us to move very quickly with our minds, and our mind needs a break. Our mind needs a break so that it can really channel the truth of that manifestation. Because we don't have to do it all. And when we're on this keep moving, keep grooving, keep doing mode all the time, we forget that we have these incredible, magical resources that allow us to just bring in the essence that supports who we are, that allows us to just play in this magnificent dream world that we live in, that we call reality. Okay, so the Greeks used to stay sober after a night of drinking with amethyst. They would tuck it underneath their pillow after they had had a few too many glasses of wine, pontificating with the Aristotles and the Socrates and the truths of the universe and the way the world should or shouldn't be. So how is it? I know you're asking this. How is it that works? Because it really does. And we can use it and utilize it today and every day. I utilize it all the time and truly love it. Is my favorite stone? Do I have a favorite stone? No. My favorite stone is whatever stone is in front of me imbuing their magnificence at the moment. But I do wear a lot of amethyst, and I do utilize it when I'm decision making, and this is how it works. So the energy of amethyst is really It's like a cup of chamomile tea, or when you get that deep, deep fragrance of a lavender flower, or a lavender essence, essential oil. Do you use those when you shower? I love to use those when I shower. It's such a clean, delightful, and beautiful feeling. Sometimes I put it on my pillow, and this with a little dab of lavender on a cotton ball underneath your pillow is just heavenly. Dream time extraordinaire, truly. So if you're working on your dreams, that's a wonderful thing to do. But how does it work? Chamomile tea opens up our capillaries in our brains. So if we have a cup of chamomile tea before we go to bed, you know that always relaxes you, especially if you had a really super stressful day. Or lavender fragrance does a ton of things. It's tremendous for helping us release and relieve a lot of pain from surgeries, from menstrual cramps, from headaches, just from using that brain too much. Chamomile, in conjunction with that, having a little nice chamomile tea before you go to bed, it actually opens up the capillaries in the brains. And those things, relaxing our muscles, opening the capillaries in our brains, allowing that blood to flow easily and effortlessly through. You know, you would think that all of that action would be kind of like a cup of coffee, that it would zip us up and turn us on and activate everything, where in actuality it does the opposite. It's kind of fun. It actually, when we have all of this stuff working, and we have all those capillaries open, and we have all those muscles open and relaxed, kind of like after you've really finished, when you finished a yoga class, that savasana, shavasana, we always, all of our yoga instructors tell us, oh, that's the best time to absorb all of that muscle memory and allow that body to absorb all that work that you've done. And of course, it always seems like shavasana is way too short, considering that you just had an hour and a half of class and you have 5 minutes of shavasana. Treat yourself to 20 minutes, just one day. Just lay in that position with that amethyst just right tucked in your forehead. Breathing so deeply and beautifully right after yoga. Just let that body absorb that beauty. Allow that third eye to open with that higher self, open with that white light. Let it just flow in through you. All right, what do I really want to say about this? I have so many notes. There's so much to go over. So here's what I think. So as our body obviously takes in enough oxygen, enough blood, we actually can relax. Because we know, subconsciously, consciously, physically, all of it, that we are taken care of. We're good. We're right where we need to be. And we can actually even allow ourselves to sleep deeply and peacefully, regenerating, rejuvenating, restoring every molecule, muscle, cell, fiber, and tissue, because everything that we need to do that is provided, it's there, it's available. Our minds don't have to think about how we can get more oxygen or what we need to do tomorrow, because it's all there, right there for us. And that lets us open up to that clarity, to that divinity. At the end of the day, we're not fighting with ourselves about what we have to do tomorrow or how we make it better. That contentment exists. It's for us, it's about us, it's ever, ever present. And this, I always say that amethyst, reminds us that the divine is ever, ever present, and not just present, but in charge. We don't need to think through every last thing. It's our habit, it's our survival mode, it's the illusion of how we focus and move through the world. But it's when we let our higher mind, our higher self, the divine beings do the work for us, or at least open ourselves up so that at least when we're sleeping, what is sleeping? Sleeping. When we're sleeping, they can have the opportunity to have that conversation with us through our dreams, showing us that we really are cared for, that we're important to this world, and that our being is enough, that they have provided and are continuing to provide all that we need to express who we are. It's pretty exciting stuff. It's really exciting stuff. So you've probably heard the saying, I need to sleep on that. I say it all the time. I need to sleep on that. I need to sit with it. I need to think about it. But really sleeping with it, the Greeks really understood that allowing this energy of this particular crystal, it's really a crystal. One of the main things that Earth Mama has provided was 88% of the Earth is crystal. This is a biggie. This crystal in our environment, it can be beside your bed, it can be underneath your bed, it can be underneath your pillow, it can be in the room. But when we're bathing in that vibration, then that sleep allows us to absorb and be who we are so that we can wake with the confidence, the clarity, the contentment. You really don't need that wine to change that. The Greeks, they love their wine. They love their wine because I suspect that their society was a little stressful as well. But without it, and you choose that chamomile tea instead, you can actually allow that inner alchemist to begin rejuvenating and restoring in that sleep time. And really, oh my gosh, if there is something that you need to make a decision or a choice on, this ever-present calm, this ever-steady energy can invite or become conscious of our dream state, the messages, our higher self. It's just a great way for us to stay present in who we are as we are. With all the technology like I'm using with you today, it's so magnificent. But we don't have to answer to it every moment. And when we can settle into that comfort of being the magnificence that we are, I wear it. I wear it all the time. You guys always see me with Amethyst on because when I'm in public, I wear it. Because it allows me and allows my mind to stay focused in that moment. And if you guys know me, I'm as ADHD as they come. I mean, some bright, shiny thing, I'm off to the next thought and movement. As you can tell by this video. But it also helps us think and act in an environment where we are living or working around people that have not chosen to live a sober life, to live a clear life, to think they're not in a place, they don't have the program to choose that kind of vibration, that kind of clarity. They are growing at their pace, we're growing at ours, but often their confusing or disturbed thought will ripple out into ours. This, when we keep it with us, we can stay steady, whether the rest of the world, whether the people we work with, the people we live with, are or are not. And if they are on their path to sobriety, this helps them channel that clear and focused energy. They don't have to go to that, back to that program of disconnect. It's amazing to just allow ourselves that space, that environment. And if you think that, this is a stone that's very common. Why? Because Mama Earth knew that we all needed to use a lot of it. So you'll always see me with some amethyst on, probably most, if not all the time. Some sort of it. And there's so much more to talk about. You guys, I could go on and on and on and on, which I've already gone too long. I apologize. But you can, so there'll be more. There'll be new variations of amethyst, some variations that I love to be with, like this Sacred 7. There'll be pink amethyst to talk about. There's rainbow amethyst to talk about. So in the next few weeks, I'll have more. So please, please subscribe for good vibes and to stay tuned to more things to talk about. I'll try to keep it a little shorter. For right now, know that I'm going to put a link down below for my Etsy shop. There are amethyst dream chevrons on our Etsy site. There are pendants. There is these double terminated beauties from Brazil that are just fabulous to keep on your desk in your work environment when you need to think through that project. I so appreciate you all stopping by and listening to me ramble on and on and on about something that I think is that exciting. Try it again. Take it off your shelf. Enjoy it. Play with it. May you guys have this fabulous, clear, and joyously content journey with your amethyst. Oh my gosh, it's been a late, long day. Thank you so much for playing with me. Have a crystal magic, content, and beautiful day. Ciao for now.